figure I'll give you guys the best view in the house. Right, we got the nice ravine in the back with the Mississippi River back there, and what the hell I got there. But anyway, talk for today is going to be about the Trump administration and why they're never going to kick illegal immigrants out. I know if you voted for Donald Trump, that was one of the tenets of, I think, his candidacy, and there's a lot of reasons that's just simply not going to happen. You know, a lot of people say, you know, immigrants do jobs that Americans won't do, you know, and there's a component of that. A lot of people say that, you know, immigrants, they suppress wages and all those kind of things, and you know, maybe there's some of that. There's a lot of components to what's going on in this situation, why you're not going to get rid of immigrants. Like the powers that be, the government, no one's going to get rid of illegal immigrants because there's a lot of benefits to having them here. And a lot of people don't like to hear that, you know, and again, I'm going to say some things I think people are going to like, and I'm going to say some things that I think people are not going to like. But again, I've fired people for almost 10 years. I hire lower class and middle class people predominantly. I've seen what a lot of different classes of people, groups of people have to offer, the problems that all these kind of people have, and why immigrants fill that void, right? And it's a very uncomfortable conversation, you know. So this isn't a pro immigration, against immigration. It's not a Republican Democrat conversation. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull my camera in here. I'm trying to get myself kind of cozy here. See how long this conversation goes tonight. But anyway, yeah, it's a tricky issue. And if you've ever hired and fired people, if you've ever owned a company and you've had to make sure that your dollars are being used correctly, right? They're being used efficiently. They're being used in the best manner possible. You've dealt with people long enough to know that there's a lot of people that are just not employable. We have a real problem in society today with people wanting to work, with people knowing what good work is, and are people even being willing to work. There's a humongous problem with this. And I believe that the Trump administration understands this and knows that if we simply kicked out all of these people, that there's not a lot of Americans that are going to want to do those jobs, right? And I'm one of these people, like, I think that if you pay enough money, most people will do almost anything, you know, but there clearly is a lot of people that won't do anything. But there's a reason for that, right? Now, if you wanted to kick out all of the illegal immigrants and you thought that the Americans would pick all these jobs, so I agree that there's a lot of jobs that would get picked up, but most of them would not, unless you basically got rid of welfare, right? That would kind of, in my mind, that would have to be the trade, because that would essentially force all the people that aren't working to then take some of these jobs, right? And it would be hyper competitive, which would be really nice. It would actually bring the wages up in many ways. Businesses would also do mass automation. They would try and automate away everything, because that's honestly, employees, while everyone likes to say that employees are the backbone of a company, employees are your greatest asset, but also your greatest liability, right? Employees obviously make the things, provide the services, all those kinds of things, but they're also the first people looking to sue you. They're the people that are always looking to leave for better money. They're the people that are just looking for angles. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, that's how employer-employee relationships work. And yeah, so getting rid of illegal immigrants right off the bat just would not work in our economy. And I just believe that's never going to happen, right? So why am I saying this? Where am I coming from? So my name is Eric Wilkin. I own the Splendid Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a small furniture company. We are a boutique furniture company. We make beautiful high gloss lacquered furniture. We make beautiful stain furniture. We do about 500 pieces a year, and it's a great middle class living. We do a small 7 figures in revenue, and we hire. I've just hired 2 more people today, so I got 2 more people starting tomorrow. So I think we're up to 10 or 11 employees. And anyway, business is really good. Sales for furniture are doing fantastic. The economy is doing a lot better than I think people give it credit for, because of there's a lot of doomers right now. There's a lot of people, you know, telling you everything's fallen to pieces. There's a lot of people telling you that the economy isn't doing well. There's a lot of people saying that they can't get jobs. Like, how many times do you see these videos where people are like, I apply to 50 jobs a day? It's like, I can't wrap my head around that, guys. Like, there's no people out there that apply for that many jobs every single day of the week and have been rejected for months on end. Like, I just don't believe it. Again, as an employer, as someone that hires and fires people, like, I think there's a big issue with people thinking that things are much worse than they are. You know, I'm not saying they're good. Things are definitely in a weird spot, but they can get better, right? So I'm coming at this. These are my opinions. This is, again, from the fact that I've probably hired and fired, I don't know, maybe 100 people in my day. And this is what I do, right? So I understand legal immigration, illegal immigration. My wife is an immigrant from India. I have all different kinds of nationalities for people that work for me, so I understand what people have to go through to get to this country. I've got people from Croatia that work for me. I've got people from India that work for me. I've got people from Mexico that work for me. I've got people from Syria that work for me. America's a great place. It's a really cool place because we have people literally from all over the world. It's kind of a unique situation. If you've ever traveled a bunch, that's not a very normal thing in most countries. Countries tend to keep their people, right? The predominant class of people that are there tend to stay there, right? Whereas America, we just bring in all kinds of people, maybe more than we should have brought in, right? And somehow we're able to make this thing work, which is really cool. But anyway, so let's talk about immigration for a minute. So we got Aaron in here. Aaron, good to see you. Glad you're here. How's business, Aaron? Everything going good? We're doing fantastic right now. We got a lot of sales. Sales are actually up substantially. My wife likes to tell me that sales are something like 99% better than this time last year. So I don't know what that means. I mean, sales weren't fantastic last year, but they weren't too bad either. So anyway, okay, so let's talk about immigration. Aaron, I've heard you talk about this a little bit. You're probably gonna agree with most of these things. But here's the thing, guys. And again, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to bring anybody down or pigeonhole people or doing these kind of things. But the truth is that Americans just aren't that good at working. There's part of it, I think, is because they just don't know what real work is, right? And people say, oh, I go to work all the time. I work by 40 hours. I'm trying to work. I got 2 jobs. I work my regular job, and then I go do DoorDash, or I go to Uber, or they're doing all this work. And the truth is that the work that they're doing is not getting them better at anything. It's not building a skill that can then get them more money. They're literally just hopping from job to job to job to job to job to job to try and make money. And I'm not saying that that's right. But here's the thing about immigrants. Immigrants, they love to get really good at something. They have an incredible amount of respect and an incredible amount of devotion to the people that they work for. They're so glad to be here that they'll work 80 hours a week because they haven't had that opportunity where they work, right? Like we tend to think that immigrants that come from other countries, that's all they do is work and scrounge to try and find food, and they're trying to make money, do whatever they can. And some of that is true, but here in America, you can work as much as you want. And these people, when they come here, they absolutely thrive, right? And we have groups of people here, and we have classes of people in here that can't seem to figure this shit out. And not enough people are willing to say that, and I'm willing to say it. Like I said, I hire all kinds of people. I've hired, just literally everybody. It doesn't matter. You just choose your poison. I've hired them all. But try to hire people today is kind of a shit show. Like there's specifically kinds of people I won't hire. I wouldn't even entertain the idea of hiring certain kinds of people because I've just done it for so long that I know that it's not going to end well, right? These people aren't interested in learning a skill that's going to give them the potential to move around and do that same job somewhere. They're just looking for any job they can to make money. And that really frustrates me as a person that hires and fires people for a living, that we have so many people today that don't actually know how to do anything. Like they're literally just a warm body, and I've said it many times before, but basically we can pay for these people to be on welfare, or we can pay to train these people through the tax system and give them real skills. But either way, we're going to pay for them. So if we just want to give them welfare and we want to try and hire these people and let them fuck up our businesses and fuck up our cultures, then that's a no bueno. We're not going to do that. Like we're just not going to hire these people. They can also just stay on welfare. We'll just pay our taxes, and they can not learn anything. They can just make babies, and they can just reproduce and do this generational retardation that they do to each other because they don't want to learn. They're unwilling to learn how to do something, okay? So when an immigrant comes into this country, they don't speak the language, they don't really have any friends, and somehow they learn all the skills. They take the jobs, they're taking the industries, and they seem to figure it out. And I don't hear enough people saying, what the fuck is going on? Why don't our own people know how to do anything? Why do they not have any loyalty to the people that they're working for? And you might say, oh, businesses don't have loyalty. There's always that quick blame, like, oh, the business owner, they're fucking the employee, and it's not good. They're not paying us enough money. And the truth is, like, most people don't know how to do anything. They're not worth anything. And just because someone says, oh, I'm worth $25 an hour, I'm worth $20 an hour, like, you're not worth jack shit. You're not worth anything. Until you prove you can do something that's useful, you're not worth nothing. Like, in actuality, you should be paying me. And it's funny, and I'm always saying this, all these people, they go to colleges, they actually pay the colleges to basically babysit them for years on end, right? But the idea of paying me as the employer, you know, someone who you can actually endear yourself to, who you basically have like an internship with for 3 or 4 years and get paid, is thought of as the dumb person's route, right? It's the road that only idiots go through. Only the people that can't go to college go down that road. And the truth is, guys, all the immigrants came in and took all those jobs while y'all were fucking off in school, right? Going to college, getting your gender studies degree and your psychology degree, and the same degrees that a million other people have. The immigrants were just coming in here and taking all your jobs. And now you're like, well, fuck this. This is bullshit. I want my old job back. I'll dig ditches. You know, I'll do roofing. And the truth is that you won't. You know, so again, super uncomfortable thing to say. And again, I know people aren't gonna be jumping all over this conversation, but it's just the truth. And everyone always says, well, that's not me. I'm different. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that way. And the truth is that yes, you are. Most people are this way. And again, I say this again as someone who's hired and fired tons of people. And we try and develop people's skills. We try and bring people in and give them careers, like actual careers. And some people say, oh, sander's not a career. You know, I'm here to tell you guys something, that a sander in my industry can get a job anywhere because the job is so damn hard. It's so demanding. So if you're a sander that shows up every day, does a great job, takes instruction well, you know, will do different kinds of jobs, help move furniture around, maybe help out on deliveries, like you're way more valuable than, you know, some, you know, person that doesn't want to do any of that shit, right? Some person that bitches about their situation, some person that's constantly on their phone, they're way more valuable. You know, and a sander can go anywhere in our industry, and they're highly coveted, you know, because the work's hard. And that's why these immigrants are all here. Now, other things we'll talk about with the immigrants. So immigrants have literally taken over the kitchen jobs, all of them, right? So you go to any restaurant, go to an Indian restaurant, right? We got a couple here in St. Louis. All the back staff, Mexicans, everyone, they're all Hispanics, right? Those people doing all the cooking. Go to a Mexican restaurant, right? You're gonna have Mexican people working there. Go to a Chinese restaurant, it's all Mexican people. Go to an American restaurant, it's all Mexican. Go to an Italian restaurant, it's all Mexican people. These people have come in and they have outworked every fucking one of you. All of you, everyone, you know? And that's why they get these jobs. And everyone says, well, they just don't pay them anything. And you guys are full of shit. You're lying to yourselves. And whoever's telling you this kind of stuff is lying to you, right? Because as employers, we're not interested in paying people less money, right? We want people good money, we want people fair money, and we want people to be happy with the wages that they're making. We don't want someone coming into work fucking hating their wage, hating their life, you know, thinking that their employer is trying to screw them over. Like, this is bullshit. It's not how it works. And to the point of this whole discussion, this administration that we have today understands this. You know, like, you can't kick out all these people because you don't have enough people here to do the work. People don't want to do this work anymore. They don't want to work in kitchens. They don't want to work on roofs. They don't want to build houses. They don't want to do concrete work. They don't want to do anything that makes society work. They all want to work in an office. They all want to work from home, right? Remote. That's like this big thing. These immigrants don't want to do any of that shit. And guess what? They got all the jobs. You know, it's wild. And it pains me to say it as an American, because all I ever did to make it to where I'm at now is just work hard every day. I would work 50, 60, 70 hours a week for decades on end. That's all I did. I got super good at making furniture. I volunteered for everything. I tried making companies several times. They all failed, and finally got one, you know, that gave me a decent living. And it's not, you know, it's not rich money, but it's decent. It's better than I've ever had it. And that's all it takes. But people don't want to do this stuff. And again, the immigrants, they'll do it all day long. And they don't even speak fucking English. Like, it's wild, guys. So anyway, let's look at the comments real quick, and we'll continue the conversation. Because yeah, the Trump administration understands what's going on here. They don't care that people are crying, and I know Trump said that, you know, he's going to get rid of all these people, and you know, the previous administration let in all these people, and honestly they did, which is pretty fucked up, but they did, and it is what it is at this point. But these people, they're paying taxes, because they're all using fake social security numbers, they're using fake names, they're paying taxes on people that don't really even exist, and the federal government is just taking in all that money, and it's keeping the social security system solvent, you know, which is, again, really twisted. Like, if I was an immigrant, I'd be pissed. You know, but that's the other side of the things. Like, the government doesn't talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, I can talk about, we'll talk about illegal labor. We'll talk about, I can talk about all kinds of different labor law and things that I've dealt with on the labor side as it pertains to illegal and legal labor over the years. And it's they're just not going to do it. You know, if Trump does anything, it wouldn't surprise me if they went ahead and legalized these people, you know, because we need, not only we need the taxpayers, because again, too many people are just sucking off the system. None of these people suck off the system, and everyone says, "Oh, their kids go to the schools, you know, their babies use up all the health care." And I'm sure there's some of that, absolutely. And maybe it ends up being a wash, right? It could end up just being a wash. But guess what? The American is sucking off the tit of anybody that's productive way more than the immigrant class. And again, I catch a lot of shit when I try and bring this up, but it's the honest to God truth. You know, these fucking immigrants that we have here, they're better to our country than our own citizens are to this country. Our own citizens hate this country, and I can't figure out why. You know, and when you try and show them a better way and a way that they can make it in this world, develop skills that are very useful anywhere in America, they don't want anything to do with it. They don't care. They think you're some fucking, you know, some lucky guy, you're some goober, and they're just not interested. And it's a damn shame. You know, the illegal immigrants, all they want to do is learn. All they want to do, and they're going to take every job, every single one of them. You know, and it's a damn shame. So we got rain coming in, guys. I'm going to pull my chair in here under the deck. Hang out 1 second, guys. Pull this thing over here. Okay, we got some nice, beautiful rain coming in here. This should be pretty nice. But yeah, it's just not going to happen. You know, and again, old Trump, he's part of the hotel industry. Right? He understands the hospitality industry and understands who cleans hotels. He understands who does all the cooking. He understands who does all the work, right? And it's not people like you and me. It's a whole different class of people. And bad news, guys. But we're not going to win this one. You can't just vote somebody into office and then magically get rid of all these people. Like, I hate to tell you this, but the people that would, you know, like, say you got rid of all the roofers. Okay, sorry guys, let me get the comments. Say you got rid of all the roofers, right? There are not enough people in any state that would then want to go do that job, right? You can't even get people to fucking go out in 95-degree weather and just hang out. Like, they have to go to a car, or they have to go into a building that has air conditioning right away. They don't even know what it's like to work outside. They're so averse to anything difficult, they can't hang. You know, meanwhile, this immigrant population comes in here and just takes over the entire industry. They don't mind working hard. They don't mind making money because they've never been able to make money in their lives. And we've forgotten what that means. We've forgotten what it means to earn an honest day's pay and to get really good at something, to be the best at something. That's worth way more than money. And the great thing about it is that when you get really good at something, you become the best at something, you get paid for it anywhere you go. But I don't know if we just can't talk about it, if people don't want to talk about it, but we got to, I don't know if we just got to start shaming people, but I say it all the time, you know, we got to cut off welfare. Like, I think it's the only thing you can do. Like, you've got to get rid of welfare, and you've got to make these people want to work. Like, you have to give them no other option, because they're just never going to do it. And it's the immigrant population that's going to come in and take all their jobs, and all these people are just going to be on welfare. They're just going to continue to have really difficult lives. They're not going to want to learn, but the immigrant class is going to come in here and they're going to do all that work. They're going to learn everything, and then they're going to, again, you're having an immigrant class is going to rise above more classes in America of Americans because they're willing to work. It's literally that simple. And yeah, anyway, so let's go to the comments real quick, and we'll continue the conversation. This is a conversation I'm really passionate about. I've always been frustrated with hiring people, you know, and it pisses me off when I hire people. Like, I'll literally, sorry, I go one quick tangent here. I've literally hired young people. I've hired older people. I've hired white people, black people, Hispanic people. No Asian people yet. But anyway, when you hire these people, like I have a conversation with most people that I hire. You know, I said, look, this is what I'm going to teach you. You know, you want to be a furniture maker. I'm going to show you how to be a furniture maker, right? Furniture makers, you know, you're probably going to make 40 grand a year to start, right? You learn this stuff, spend a couple of years doing this stuff. We'll raise your salary up to 50, 60 grand a year. You start to be able to actually do this stuff and build cabinets on your own and take over some of my work. You know, you can make 100 grand a year. You can make really good money as a furniture maker, but you got to learn, you know, and these people, they think they fucking know it all. And I'm here to tell you guys that they don't. So many people think that they're good at what they do. They're good enough. I hear that all the time. Oh, it's good enough. It's good enough. Like, fuck you, man. Like, you're going to tell me when something's good enough? Like, bitch, you don't even know. You have no idea. And people don't want to hear that kind of stuff. They, you know, why you disrespected me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm trying to fucking teach you something, dude. Like, I used to get hit all the time with a hat by my mentor who was in his 70s. I think I was probably in my late 20s. And this guy hit me with his hat all the fucking time, you know, telling me to knock it off or just shut my mouth or just do what I was told. And again, I'm a grown-ass man, listen to some 7-year-old guy tell me, you can't tell people that shit today. They don't want to hear it. They fucking know everything because, I don't know, maybe because they got YouTube. Like, I don't know what it is. They think that they're, you know, some suave motherfucker because they got an iPhone. I can't wrap my head around. Like, people just don't want to learn anymore, which is a goddamn shame. But the young people, they don't want to learn. The older people, they think they know it all, and they just don't. Like, and it's, anyway, it is what it is, guys. So anyway, let's go to the comments. And I appreciate everyone being here tonight. We'll talk for a little bit. We'll see how this conversation goes. But hit the like button, add the discussion. Let me know your thoughts on this particular discussion. Let's kind of bat it around. The Instagram algorithm loves likes. Like, more likes we get on this thing, the more it'll kick around other people, and we can have a great conversation about immigration, about hiring people, about the youth of America, about skills. I mean, we can talk about all kinds of things related to the work of America and how immigrants are just wiping the fucking floor with us. They're literally wiping the floor with us. And it's just because they show up every day, and it's just because they want to learn, and they do a great job. They'll do things exactly the way that you tell them to, and they don't backtalk you, they don't bitch you, they don't even speak fucking English for the most part, and they do a better job than 75% of the people that I've ever hired, which is wild, guys. It's a goddamn shame. All right, so Aaron says, let's say scrape of sales are good. I'm just working on getting enough inventory to build my future sales. I'm at 4 weeks. Well, that's good. Yeah, we're doing the same thing. And thank God I have my wife, because she's the only one that has like the really good foresight to like project sales out. So she's doing the same thing. We're painting china cabinets right now. We got some like Bernhardt china cabinets. Starting to paint a bunch of those. Starting to paint a couple dressers. We noticed a lot of serpentine furniture selling. Serpentine's real popular. Leggy sideboards are real popular right now. And I'm selling my Zane credenza like just wild. I literally have 6 Zane credenzas being built right now. Like, I did my talk the other day telling you guys how I sell 50 of those things a year, and that's what it is. I've got 2 60-inchers, 2 80-inchers, and 2 100-inchers, right? And those 100-inchers go for like 8 or 10 grand. They're pretty pricey, but that's what people are buying. Like, they're buying tons of furniture, and it's great. It means all the kids are going back to school. The wives are in their homes. They're hooking up with their interior decorators, and they're trying to come up with what they want the house to look like for the holidays, what's it going to look like for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You know, they got to get all their furniture ordered, get all the wallpapers put up, get all their whatever kitchens done, whatever it is they got to do. They're in full-on, you know, buying mode, which is great for us. It's great for our industry as furniture people. So, Aaron, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you're doing that. Like I said, I'm just terrible about it. Like, thank God I have my wife. I'm just trying to keep up. I have so much work right now. I get stressed out whenever I leave work, because I know that when I get back there, there's just gonna be shit tons of work there. It's insane. I've got six big freaking credenzas going on right now. I've got a massive custom credenza for an estate that I'm doing. I've got a 10-foot 3-unit credenza as well, literally sitting on the floor. I've got a large Henredon style desk that I have to build, 72 wide, 36 wide, 72 deep, 30 inches tall. It's a big 3-unit executive desk. Like, it's insane how much work there is right now, Aaron. So it's good that you're busy, and I hope everyone else is staying busy as well. Okay, let's see, Gil Pina, good to see you. Gil, see, bet I know what type of people you're talking about. Well, and Gil, I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of people that need a lot of help. And again, when I do these streams and I talk about hiring and firing people and being a furniture maker, painter, furniture assembler, delivery person, all these kind of things, like, all I want to do as a business owner is give people jobs. The more business that, you know, the more stuff my wife can sell, the more things that I can make, the more work we're able to give people. And the truth is that when we started this company, we hired from our community, which is a very low class community. I mean, these are all, you know, super low wage, super low class people that jump from job to job to job. And that's where we started, you know. But once the company kind of got up and moving, they couldn't hang. You know, the idea of showing up on time, you know, not getting, you know, fucked up at lunch, working extra hours, hell, even having automobiles, like, that's kind of a big thing too. And we're always trying to help you. If you don't have a car, we want to help you get a car. But a lot of these people, they don't even want cars. Some of them don't even have a driver's license, which is really, really wild. But yeah, we gotta help these people, but they gotta want to help themselves. And until we cut off all the aid that we give them, all the support that we give them, I don't think they're going to come to us for help anymore. I think there's enough, you know, welfare out there for people that if they don't want to do anything, a Netflix subscription is cheap. You know, Xboxes are cheap, PlayStations are cheap. Like going to the grocery store, they've all got, food stamps, whatever they call that shit now, SNAP or whatever it is. So this is I think it's just too many benefits, and so they don't have to conform to the way society is. And people like when I use that kind of a word, but you got to be able to operate in polite society. And until we can teach these people to do this, the immigrants are just going to take all their jobs, guys, every fucking one of them. And I say it all the time, like, give me one illegal immigrant, I'll give you 2 pieces of shit Americans. Get them the fuck out of here, because I'm tired of paying for them. Whether I got to pay for them on welfare or I got to pay for them when they come to work and fuck things up for me because they don't want to learn, or that's how I look. It's, again, super, not PC at all. But there's a lot of people I know that feel this way, like too many to count, And I think the truth is that we can't talk about this kind of stuff, and it's a goddamn shame because we're the ones that want to help people. We're the people that believe these people can get their shit together, but for whatever reason, they don't have to. And it bugs me. Like I said, as an American, as a business owner, as someone that just wants to help people. Like I said, I love giving people jobs. I love teaching people things. I love people taking pride in their work. But these people, they just don't have it, guys. But the illegal immigrants, the immigrants that come in here from other countries, they got it in spades. And it's literally that simple. So, yeah, I'm not sure what we do, but the administration we have today understands all this stuff, and they're not going to kick out any of these people. It's just not going to happen. There's zero incentive to kick these people out, other than the fact that Trump said that he would. And I really wish Trump would keep his word. I think it's more important to keep your word than anything. But it's just, I don't think it's going to happen. So, okay. So Gil, yeah, thanks for the comment, man. So we got the next person. I don't know what your name is. Let's see. They have at lower wages. So again, wages aren't the thing, and I hear this from people all the time. They always say that illegal immigrants they bring the wages down, right? You don't have to pay the wages. Yeah, the truth is that these people are paid more than people would otherwise be paid, right? Because they still have to pay taxes, right? So you're going to pay the same wages that you would normally pay for. It's not like you're going to pay them under the table. You can't pay people. If you're a legit business, very difficult to pay people under the table, as they say. It's not as easy as it used to be. People will say, "Oh, just go get a bunch of cash." You got a bunch of cash. Well, you can only take out so much cash, right? I mean, you take out more than, I think it's like $9,000 a day. Or is it $9,000 a day or $9,000 a week? I forget what it is, but I mean, you can only take out so much cash. And then when your accountant's doing your books, you start rolling out a shit ton of cash all the time. They're going to start asking questions. And accountants have obligations to their job, right? So they can't just look over that shit and pretend it's not happening. They have to ask the questions. And especially if like a CPA like we do, like they're not going to let that shit slide. So you have to keep your business above board, and it's very difficult to do. And the way that a lot of these people get around that kind of stuff is that all you really have to have from a legal standpoint as an employer is you just have to have what's called an I-9. And once that's filled out, like you're in the good. As long as that I-9 passes, then everything's fantastic. You have no liability in hiring somebody. So that's basically the legal requirement. And a lot of these people, I think that they just got bogus Social Security numbers. Or sorry, guys, more rain coming. We're going to turn this thing over here. I think got bogus Social Security numbers, and they just got bogus documents. And there's like a whole industry around providing those things, which is fine, is what it is. But it's tricky, We've got to find a way to get more Americans to work. And again, people always say, well, the unemployment rate's 4%. You're like, fuck off. Like, the unemployment rate's 4%, but you know how many people like don't work? And again, everyone's on some kind of disability at this point. Everyone has some kind of reason that they can't work, or that they're not 100% capable of working. We see this a lot in the veteran community. These guys get disability all the time, and nothing against veterans, but it's the same thing for the people that they're on welfare, right? They're going to get all kinds of ways to collect welfare because they don't want to give that money up. And the people that are providing that welfare, they don't want to stop providing that welfare because then they don't have a job anymore, So it's a cycle that keeps feeding these people's addiction, right? The addiction to welfare, the addiction to free money, the addiction to poverty, basically. So yeah, it bugs me. So okay, we'll go through more comments. So yeah, basically I don't agree on the lower wages. I used to think that was the case, and then I started hiring and firing people. And what I realized is that having done this for a long time is that we pay people based on what they do. Like I've got people that I started at $10 an hour, now I pay them 30. I've got people that we started off at $8 an hour, now we pay them $25 an hour. And it's not because they've been with me forever, and a lot of them have been with me for quite a while, but it's because they take on the jobs, right? They show up every day, they do the skills. If I can't be there, I know that they're going to be there. I don't have to think about, well, is so-and-so going to show up? You know, if I need someone, I can call them, they'll take care of it. It's what's a symbiotic kind of relationship. You know, it's like I got to do my job so they can do their job. You know, they do their job and I do my job. We all kind of work together. And these people, you learn to count on them, and it works out great. But if you're not one of these people that can be counted on to show up all the time, you're not going to be fucked up when you come to work. You're not going to be stealing things. You're not going to do drugs or that fucking weed. Like, that's just the worst. If you're not one of these people, you'd be very hard to make money, guys. And again, illegal immigrants don't have any of these problems. Zero. So, okay, let's see, we got Bunny Mom Studios here. Good to see you. I don't get how people do nothing and only play on their Xbox all day. Yeah, I don't know that there's a lot of those. I know it's kind of a stereotype. It's like when we say, you know, we talk about like the people that go to college, you get the stupid gender studies degree. It's kind of the same thing there. We just use this as kind of a trope. But there are a lot of people that don't do very much. And there are a lot of people that actually, they're doing shit all the time, but the stuff they're doing is just not conducive to society. It doesn't help society. Therefore, you're not really going to get paid for it. I've seen people, they scramble from job to job to job to job to job, make no money because they're not reliable, right? They make no money because they can't pass a drug test, right? They make no money because they got no driver's license. These kind of things, these things stack up, you know. It's one thing if you're missing one of them, but if you got 4 or 5 of these problems, you become what I call unemployable. And these are people that you just get passed around like a cold, man. You're like, you're just ratchet, as they say. You're a ratchet employee, you know, and you just get passed around because people might need a warm body for a day, a week, a month, and they'll bring you in because if you steal something, it's not a big deal. And if you want to show up late, not a big deal. And if you're fucked up, not a big deal. You're just basically a warm body to kind of occupy some space. And there's a lot of people like that, you know, and it's no good. More rain. Now the rain's coming in good. We got some wind coming. So when you live out here on the river, you get these crazy high winds. So we'll try last thing hanging out over here. It's a bad deal. And again, these illegal immigrants and these immigrants that have been coming into America for a long time, they don't have any of these problems. They got none of them. And it's just a major problem. We have to expect more from our people. And until we do that, man, everyone, all of these people are going to suffer. Like they're not going to be able to get it together. It's not going to end well for them, and it's not good for our country, to be quite honest with you. We want a country of fucking badass motherfuckers. We want a bunch of David Gogginses. You know, we don't want a bunch of losers collecting welfare. And this is what it is, you know. So okay, what else are you saying there, buddy? I don't get how people do nothing. Yeah, and some of these people, it's not that they don't do anything. I mean, a lot of people, they're very busy. But like, especially for men, it's like they can't keep their dicks in their pants. They just love to sling dick, and they have tons of kids. And again, like you and I pay for it as taxpayers. These people aren't paying. They can't pay for anything. They can't keep a job, yet they can keep slinging dick and having tons of kids, and we'll just keep paying for them. And there's nobody to say knock it off. You know, there's no one to say, hey, you can't do this anymore. It just doesn't exist. You know? So yeah, unfortunately, the way it's going to work out is that this administration isn't getting rid of illegal immigrants. Not at all. We can't afford to. There's not enough people that want to work. And again, I think you'd have a lot of people that would take on some of these jobs, but not enough people to keep the industries going. And I don't know what you do about it, guys. It's just super tricky. There's so many issues there with our own citizens that make these illegal immigrants necessary. And it hurts me like I said, as an American, that's just kind of the way it is. Like, honestly, the way we used to do it here in America is we used to have kids, right? We'd have families, and you'd have a family-owned business. And this is kind of my pie in the sky thing, I know. But you have a family business, right? The kids you'd have kids, right, to help in the business, whether, you know, it used to be a farm, but then it was businesses. You'd have your kids kind of help you out. The wife might work there. It might be, you know, just the husband, who knows? But you'd have this business, and everybody would help out, right? And these kids would learn these skills young about, you know, never talking back to people, you know, shaking people's hands, looking people in the eyes, these kind of soft skills that are like part of kind of civil society. And they would learn these things. They'd learn how to sell people, right? Kind of tell people what they want to hear, give them good information, you know, be quick. And you would learn these things really young. And today we don't have any of that. And the worst part of it is that we a lot of times we're sending kids to college, and the college aren't teaching these people this shit either, which is horrible. There's nobody there that's willing to say, hey, you know what, you can't act this way, you can't do this kind of stuff. It's not good for society. It's not good for polite society, because if you keep doing it, we're just going to bring in people that will do it, and that's exactly what's happening. And that's my whole point about this talk is that it's not like a Republican administration that's bad. It's not a Democrat administration that's bad. It's people not expecting more of the people around them, right? And even if you do, people like someone told you like, hey, knock that shit off, especially if they were your elder. Most people would be like, oh, I don't want someone saying that to me. They're older than me, right? They're wiser than I am, and now you don't get any of that. Like, all that's gone. And it's the same thing in work when you're trying to get people to listen to you, or you're trying to teach people something, you're trying to get people going in the right direction. They're just like, fuck off. And unfortunately, it doesn't work, and it's lead us to where we're at today. Like, and we'll keep bringing in all these illegal immigrants. We'll keep bringing in people from other countries, H-1B visas, all this shit, until our citizens straighten up, until we get to a place where people actually want to work, and people actually want to learn, and people respect the people that are teaching them things and showing them the way. They'll just keep letting illegal immigrants in here to do that work, because you can't expect the employers to fucking train everyone and teach everyone how to do everything. At some point, you gotta teach people yourself. You gotta teach your kids these kind of things. You gotta teach kids respect. You gotta teach them, like I said, to look people in the eye, shake hands, all these kind of things, and learn. Be willing to learn. Be interested. So that's a whole other topic. Being interested is people that come in from other countries. They're super interested in making money. They're super interested in getting in with a good company and learning new things. They're very interested in making a difference, being valuable, adding value to wherever it is they're at. And I'm telling you this as, again, they don't speak English, right? You can just see it. You don't even have to talk to them. You can tell by their mannerisms, by the way they carry themselves, by the way that they work, by how they operate. It's wild, and you can tell people just don't give a shit. It's so obvious. Like, we can tell when employees are decent employees and when they're shit employees within a day or two. I mean, you really have a good idea of the kind of person you have. So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. It's just we have a real epidemic of people not wanting to work, and an epidemic of people not caring about work. And as long as that happens, like, they're going to keep bringing illegal immigrants here. I know that we're saying that the borders are closed, all these kind of things, and they probably will be for a little bit, but these people are coming back, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. I mean, to be quite honest with you. But if we want that thing to change, we want to get these people out, we want to do this work ourselves, it could change. I just don't see it happen. Like, again, as someone who hires and fires people, like, I don't see it happen. I don't see a better class of employee out there right now. They're just not there. So anyway, Boyd, what do you got, man? You got the last comment. Let's see here. They're already being kicked out, but open your eyes, drop it. No, and I get, no, you're 100% right. Like, it's absolutely happening. But have you noticed that it's not really happening on the scale that we were promised? You got to admit that, right? What's your company site called? It's the Resplendent Crow here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're a furniture company. We make lots of furniture. And again, all of our people are above board. Everything we do is above board. We're a legit company. We're not some content creator, just making content. But I think you've been on here before. So it's, yeah, you know who we are. I'm very open about who we are and what we do, and trying to show people what a real business is like, what real business owners are like, and what the real problems and advantages, the great things about running a business really look like. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to tell you how it really is. And that's what I do. It's fun. It's a great way to relax, and just have a beer and kind of enjoy myself. And some people like this content, some people don't. But it's good. I enjoy doing it. And yeah, Boyd, you're welcome to do whatever you'd like. And but again, add to discussion. I really appreciate it. But yeah, people are being kicked out. But if you've noticed, it's all the criminals, and it is what it is. They're all going to be kicked out. You can clearly see that what's going on is they're trying to paint this Tren de Aragua thing as the big group of bad people, because they don't want you to think that the illegal immigrant population is bad people. Like, yes, they broke the law to come in here, but they're way better workers than most Americans are, right? They're way better workers than most people that are within our communities. And again, these are lower class and middle class people. They're taking all the jobs because they do the work, right? They don't bitch about everything. They're good people. They're not felons. They're not stealing. They don't do drugs. They don't come into work fucked up. They just do great work. And again, like I said, I've said it many times. I have people from all different nationalities that work for me. So I got people from Croatia. I got people from India. I got people from South America, Mexico. I got people from Syria, all kinds of people. I get hardware made in India. Like we just deal with all kinds of people because that's what a real business is. There's this idea out there that a business has to be one kind of a thing, and it just isn't. Like this is a real company, and it takes all kinds of people to make a company work. But you can't let losers in, right? And that's one of the reasons that a lot of these illegal immigrants are eating everyone's lunch because they'll just do the work. And like I said earlier, Floyd, if you go into any kitchen in America, it's all Hispanic people. It doesn't matter if you're Mexican food, Indian food, Asian food, American food. It's all Hispanics cooking it. Doesn't matter. And because no one wants to do that work, and everyone says, oh, it's the cheap labor. No, it's not that. It's that they show up. They do a good job. You don't have to call them and say, hey, where are you? It's a work day today. They'll work any hours you want. And again, we used to do that, right? Like I've talked about, this is literally how I got to where I am today, is basically by working like one of these people, working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week for decades on end, volunteering for everything, learning the skills, becoming really good at what I do. Becoming better than most people, right? Becoming the 20%, not the 80%. And that's what more people need to do. And again, if Americans don't want to do it, these illegal immigrants will do it all. They'll do everything because that's all they want to do is work. They want to get really good at what they do, and they want to outshine everyone, and they're doing it. And again, I say this as someone that hires and fires people all the time, So I've got a company across the street from me, a big, massive window company. They deal with the same shit, same exact thing. I know people that they used to have like regular workforces, and they got rid of all of them. Now all they have are Hispanic workforces. Like they don't even want Americans to work for them anymore because they don't show up on time. They don't do a good job. They don't know what quality is. They don't take instruction well. It's just a myriad of things. A lot of home problems, car problems, just every problem under the sun, marital problems, whatever. So anyway, all right, Boyd. Here, let's go. I'll joust with you for a second, and then I think we're gonna call this conversation done for today. Okay, it takes time. It hasn't even been. Yeah, no, I get it. It will. I think it'll happen. And I say the same thing. Like everything takes time. Honestly, I thought it would happen a lot sooner. Like I was one of the guys that was like, yeah, get the squads together and start rounding these motherfuckers up, and let's get them out of here. Like I'm all like, if that's what you want to do it. But I'm here to tell you that when you do that, the people that own the companies, right, that haven't fully automated out American labor, they're going to be pissed, right? Because then they're going to have to go and try and hire and teach these people to do these jobs. And I'm here to tell you, these people, they can do these jobs, but they don't want to. And it's not because they don't want to make money. It's because they don't want to do this kind of work at all. And when you have a welfare system that constantly enables these people, they have a choice. And the choice is they'd rather sit at home on welfare in Section 8 housing and play video games, sling dick and, have a bunch of kids and just mooch off the taxpayer instead of going and getting a job and learning how to do something that's valuable to society. And again, that's what these illegal immigrants do. They're way more valuable to society than a lot of our citizens today. And again, I say this as I don't feel good saying this, but this is just what I see. And again, people might disagree with me, but it's how I see it. Okay, push all the ketchup from the previous administration. Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of work, Void. Like again, I thought Trump would be on this thing. Like I was actually really impressed that he was basically coming from the attitude of like, you guys let all this happen. You didn't do anything about it. I'm here. I'm going to fucking clean it up. And I got 4 years to basically get rid of whatever was 10, 20 million people. And you got Tom Holman out there saying, yeah, we're going to round up all these people and get them all out of here. Well, then they're like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, let's just go after the criminals here. And, here's the worst of them, Trende Aragua. So we're going to talk about these guys a whole bunch, And so I don't know that they're going to start rounding up people. If they wanted to fix this problem, to be quite honest with you, Boyd, all they would have to do is implement E-Verify. That's it. It would take care of the problem all by itself. It would render most of these people unemployable. Because, again, businesses don't want to operate illegally. No business wants to operate illegally. Businesses operate above board based on whatever the legal term of above board is. And again, you have to have an I-9 form, which is a form of ID, social security number, like name, telephone number, address, these kind of things. It's all standard kind of information, and that is all the obligation the employer has. Now, if you live in a state like Florida, I believe they're doing E-Verify, and E-Verify is a much more comprehensive background check on a person. And so some of those social security numbers and addresses that these people use, they might not work anymore, right? Like there's entire industries that do this kind of stuff. So I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Hell, we're not even in a year yet, and the guys doing pretty good, from what I gather. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, but they didn't. Yeah, no, and again, you're not going to get an argument out of me, man. Like I'm not here to argue whether what they're doing, whether they came here legally or illegally, is a good thing. To be quite honest with you, if you came here illegally, you need to go. That's exactly how I see it. But I'm also telling you the flip side of the argument and why the Trump administration is not going to get rid of these people. And it's like, again, I say this not as I'm trying to win over fans here. Like I'm telling you, like we have a massive problem with people being unemployable. Like people got fucking face tattoos and they're, disheveled and unkept and they just, you can't get these people to do the bare minimum to operate in a business. It's at least not a business like mine, and it's just hard to hire these people. And there's a million businesses like mine. Not every business is a major corporation, with thousands of employees. Most businesses, I think something like 60% of all business, maybe 80%. It's a large number of businesses are like under 50 employees. So yeah. So anyway, that's kind of how I see it, man. So he talks about my wife, one-way convo, what a loser, another slave owner. Yeah, well, again, are you we or are you WW3 or something like that? So you must be we. Probably a gamer. Yeah, like I said, it's not the most comfortable conversation, but I hear everybody talking about this kind of stuff. It's always, some kind of binary kind of situation, and everything's a binary argument, and I just don't see it that way. Like it's very obvious to me what's going on. And as someone who hires and fires people, like I don't know what else to tell you. It's just my honest assessment of the situation, So anyway, I appreciate you hanging out, guys. Boyd, I appreciate your comments. And again, I don't mind people not agreeing with me. That's cool. I'm just here to have a conversation and shoot the shit with people. I enjoy doing it. It's fun. And again, just trying to show people what a real business is like, what real business owners like, what I kind of deal with on a day-to-day basis. And we have a lot of fun here. It's a great little community of people, So anyway, hope everyone has a great night, and we'll do this again tomorrow. So.